Always great catching up with my next guest, and so glad to see him back in action. It is Tyson Nam, who's going to be taking on Ode Osbourne, UFC Fight Night, August 13th. Tyson, how's it going, man?
I'm doing good. I'm in Hawaii living the life.
You are. Before we get into your fight, big fight on the weekend, obviously. Brandon Moreno winning the interim title over Kai Kara France. Just your thoughts on his performance and getting the interim belt.
That fight definitely stole the show. It was nonstop action, back and forth. Everybody, as well as myself, was on top of the edge of my seat, and what a great finish. Hats off to both guys. Great job.
Were you expecting the fight to play out that way? Because, Kai's a really tough guy to take out.
Um, I did believe that there would have been a finish. I mean, those guys fight fast, they fight fierce, and something is always bound to happen.
We haven't seen you in a while. I mentioned that kind of off the top. What was it? January 2021. I know you had the 2 fights with Tagir that were scheduled. Glad to see you're not fighting him now, because it seems like that fight's cursed. But just how difficult has this last year and a bit been, just trying to get back in there?
It was a long process, going through surgery, rehab, building my body back to where I'm back into fight shape again, and ready to take on the world. And Ode Osbourne is the first to test it.
What I don't know how much you want to disclose here, but just for people who might be wondering, what surgery did you get? How long were you out for? All that stuff.
It was for the knee. It was the ACL, the infamous. But I had a great surgeon. I rehabbed it like no other. So I mean, it's actually stronger than my good leg.
There you go. You're like Terminator, right? You're building building it back up. When were you able to get back to training though? Like, was this kind of the right amount of time to have your next fight?
Yes, the doctor himself said that, hey, 9 months, and then you can start training. Give yourself about 3 months for professional athletes to get their body back right, which I followed to the T, and I went through everything. No injuries, didn't second guess anything, and here I am, and I'm ready.
Let's talk about Ode Osbourne. I'm going to use a little like 6 degrees of separation here. So first off, Ode's with your management group, so I'm sure there's some familiarity there. The other thing is he trains with Vince Morales, so I know his cousins with Ricky Simone, who you also train with. So there must have been some familiarity taking this fight. Like, you must have knew him pretty well.
We train with close friends, but we've never trained together.
Okay.
And from probably both our sides, Ricky and Vince, I mean, we're just gonna let the fight happen, as if we're not trying to like give out, so yeah, we should probably do this, you should probably do that, and this and that. But because I've never really trained or sparred with Vince before, so
Okay.
I mean, just the typical watch a video and this is what we're gonna plan for. Both of us, we fight pretty much the same from fight to fight. So, I mean, it's not going to be a big surprise. I mean, fireworks is going to happen. We're going to throw some punches and some kicks, and someone probably going to get knocked out.
Is there anyone kind of staying out of this fight, so to speak? Like, like you kind of mentioned there, you have a lot of mutual friends. Is there anyone that maybe would have helped you for this camp that wouldn't now because of the, the close ties?
Well, I mean, usually Ricky as well, but I mean, he's been so busy with his fights, traveling, this and that, that even if he was to come down to help out, he just didn't have the time anyways. But I got a great team here in Hawaii to help me, coach me, training partners that will be well prepared for this upcoming fight.
And who are some of the names you're working with over there in Hawaii that people might be familiar with, even up and comers? I know there's a lot of guys that are trying to make their mark that you probably train with that we're going to be hearing about pretty soon.
Well, my head coaches, I got Rylan Lazares for the grappling aspect. Got Ivan Flores. They do train some UFC fighter by the name of Max Holloway. So they're pretty noted. You see them all the time in his corner. I got training partners, up and comers, really good prospects. Ian Delaguest, Shojin Mickey, and another UFC veteran by the name of Russell Doan. He's at a
I know, yeah, of course, yeah.
Performances up in there. So I'm well taken care of over here in Hawaii.
Good. You mentioned Ricky Simone just quickly. I know you're not working for this camp, but obviously he's coming off that really impressive win over Jack Shore. Just how cool was that as someone who I know, you and Ricky have worked close together to see him get a big win like that. And I know big fights are going to be ahead after that one.
Oh, I was overjoyed. I was overjoyed. I was probably happier than he was just because, I knew him from when he was coming up through the amateur rankings. He might have only had like two or three amateur fights. So for him to get to this point in his career, I'm nothing but happy.
Weight cut, how's that going? I know when you've been off for a while, sometimes it's a little bit tougher to cut the weight. How's all that going ahead of the fight?
Not the worst, but not the best.
Somewhere in the middle, yeah.
It's somewhere in the middle, after by the time I fight, it's gonna be 19 months. So the body changes a little bit. You add a little bit of muscle here, a little muscle there, and we gotta try and break it down to a time frame to make that weight. I've never not made weight, and I want to keep that streak going, and I'd probably rather die before I not make the weight.
No edibles this camp, I imagine.
I had to stop
They got a lot of
yesterday.
sugar in them. Yeah.
Not necessarily the sugar because I only need a little dosage for me to just
Mhm.
be completely obliterated. But but yeah, I like to stop about 2 weeks out. So I'm a little bit on edge right now.
No worries. No, you seem fine in this interview. Also, it increases your appetite as well. So I'm sure that's not good if you're trying to cut weight, right? So you got to kind of
Yes,
vary it out a
yes,
little bit.
yeah.
You talked about it. You talked about your corner there. How do you envision the fight playing out on August 13th? I know you feel like you're going to get your hand raised, but how do you see this one going down?
Man, the bell's gonna ring. Probably not gonna touch gloves. We're gonna throw down until someone falls down, and the referee stops in. It's probably something of that sort. He's exciting. I like to have exciting fights. I envision nothing but fireworks.
Why no touching of the gloves? Just out of curiosity.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, we can shake hands afterwards, but I'd prefer not to. I've seen a few clips where someone tries to shake hands and someone gets clipped with a surprise punch. So I'd rather not. I'd rather just shake your hand after the fight's done.
Okay, well there we go. If there's a prop on that, keep in mind no touching gloves. I don't think it'll be for your fight, but I know for some of the bigger fights they do that. Want to get one more fight in? Again, I know you got to see how August 13th goes, and hopefully everything's relatively unscathed. But is that the plan right now? You sort of see yourself getting one more this year?
I do. It's only August. I don't do anything else but train to beat people up. So yeah, let's get another one in.
And do you have a couple fights left in your contract? I was trying to remember that because I know you signed I know you signed a new contract recently. I just can't remember exactly when that was.
I do. It was a 4 fight contract, and Matt Schnell was the first of the four. So I do have three on this second contract.
Nice.
So hopefully we can
That's
keep that
good. Yeah,
going.
don't have to worry about that. That's good. And downtime right now, what's that looking like? I know Hawaii's paradise, but I'm sure you're getting a little Netflix in there or video games or something.
Man, all I do is train. I wake up, I train. I eat, I train. That's all that's been playing in my mind for the past year. I just eat, sleep, shit, MMA. That's all I do.
And probably watch MMA too, right? I'm sure you're catching up on all the cards and all that
I do a
stuff.
little bit of that. I do a little bit of
Yeah.
that. I mean, on Saturdays is for the fights.
Let me ask you this as a fighter, do you find it tough to keep up with everything? Because they're doing UFC cards every weekend, plus you've got Bellator, you've got LF, like you've got so much MMA to watch. Like you go back 10 years ago, there was that anticipation, you'd have to wait for an event, and now it's like you're almost fatigued. Do you feel that way at all?
Well, primarily I just watch UFC unless I know somebody else that's fighting on the Bellator card or whatnot. I mean, MMA in Hawaii's been has not came back yet, so uh so that's out. But I love watching fights. I actually stopped watching any other team sports since I started MMA back in 2006. There's nothing else I would want to watch than fights. I know for a lot of people as well too. What's more fun than watching two people punch each other in the face?
Exactly. It's primal. There's so many reasons to watch fights. I completely agree with you there.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Tyson, thanks for doing this, man. I know you're just getting your day started, so I won't keep you any further. If there's anyone you'd like to thank, any sponsors or any social media you want to plug, I'll give you the last word.
Check me out on Instagram, Namino11, Twitter, probably good old fashioned Tyson Nam. Check me there. Watch me on my way back.